Good morning. And what a beautiful morning it is here in Oklahoma. The red buds are blooming. This is kind of a scraggly one back in the back border. We need to do a little bit of pruning on it, although it does appear it's going to bud out some more in places. We shall wait and see on that. We have a prettier one uh, in the front yard, a nice big one. But look look at this day. Yes, we need some rain to fill in these bare patches of grass here. But look at this morning. Oh my goodness. It is just absolutely beautiful. Light wind, 5 to 10 miles an hour. It's supposed to be overcast and 70 degrees this afternoon. The absolutely perfect day for working in the garden. I don't want to get too close and scare them. Oh, but aren't they peaceful? Just such happy little creatures. My notification from the Merlin Bird app just popped up asking me what my bird of the day would be. Or and to go they have a picture of one every day. What will you find today? Well, here's what I found today. All right. I'm going to go have a second cup of tea, get dressed, and get on with my day. We'll see how it goes. And since we're down this way in our jammies, actually a sleep shirt and a bathrobe, the blueberries, they're budding out. Look, there's some greenery. Blueberry season is upon us. Well, no, oh, look at that. Look at that. Ooh. So we usually start picking blueberries sometime around the middle of May. And it continues for about 6 weeks, as we have a lot. Yay! Blueberry season is coming. Blueberry season is coming. Just a gorgeous view this morning. And that's today's project, the back border. We've done some work out there, so a bit of weeding and pruning, but a lot more needs to be done. But as I say, it's a beautiful day. So that's our project. We're going to get a second cup of tea and get around and get going. We'll see how far we get. Well, you never get as much done as you thought you would. But I've made a start back here. Everything from this little red bud down to the end is pretty much weeded. Now, I say pretty much, yeah, there's some small stuff in there. There's also some things that I'm not sure if they're a weed or a flower, so we're going to let them go. We did a bit of trimming. Uh, we trimmed out some dead on that Lady Banks rose. Pruned a bit on various things, pulled out some dead stuff. Now, the other thing with this bed, as you can see, it's very dusty now. So it backs up to our neighbor's pasture. And, you know, it's not realistic that I would plant all the way to the fence. So we've left this little little back here that you can get a push mower through. Further down at the other end, himself gets the riding mower in there. But it's not realistic to try and plant all the way to the fence row. So there's going to always be a little section back here that we just mow the grass. And This has many empty spots, but this is where I put my zinnias in the summer. And I had a bunch last year. I've scattered, let the seed heads drop. I have more seed to sow. So I think as time goes on, we'll just keep working at it. Uh, maybe we'll get some rain, blow all the dust off. Uh, so yeah, once the zinnias get in here in the summer, this will start to really look good. And everything is just starting. The geese. The geese. So, you can see things are just budding out and just getting started. So it will continue to look better and better. And then, so yeah, when I mowed, it blew dust down this way. So I did more work than it looks like. So, and I have a couple of things in here that I trimmed back that may be dead. Not sure. Look at that iris. Oh, it started blooming a few days ago. I've got a video from the first day. I'll tuck that on at the end. It's going to be Flower Friday. I love irises. These came from my former garden club. And then things that I've noticed. Oh, there's a big old clump of grass that I didn't get cleaned out. We'll get to that. This is some sort of, I want to say salvia or verbena. I'll have to look it up. Um, but anyhow, oh, sorry, that went wonky. So yeah, I had some pink and I had some purple, and that's coming up really nicely. And other things in here, like I say, I'm not sure if it's a weed or a flower. I also trimmed dead out some, not only weeding, also kind of doing a cleanup as I go along. Got trimmed a bit out of this holly that had some dead. I do believe this right here, if I remember correctly, is my pawpaw tree. So we shall see. So yeah, we're just gonna keep at it. And it did get a little sunny for a while, so I moved and did a couple other little projects. First update, all the little pots I moved, which as we talked about last week, one of the things you have to keep in mind if you're growing citrus is if you can carry the pots. So all these little pots I carried out because we are not scheduled to have the 10-day forecast, not a freeze in sight. I have not arranged them. I've just grouped them here up against the brick on the patio. That way they get some sun, but not a ton. And they're in here with some arborvitaes and various things I had for winter interest at my little seating area here. So yeah, I just brought them out, grouped them up here because, there's still a possibility we could have a late freeze. And so I'm not going to take the time to like place them where decoratively where they will spend their summer on the patio. We'll wait and do that after when we can see the forecast out past April 15th. So yeah, they're all just hanging out here. The bees have been buzzing on them, which is awesome. Um, so I think this might possibly be the earliest I have ever brought citrus outside in Oklahoma because they've been out here since last Friday. Last Friday's video. After I finished the video, I brought them out. So yeah, earliest ever. I love this variegated lemon. Oh, such pretty leaves. You never know in Oklahoma. This might be it. This might be the end of winter, might have been our last cold space, or possibly we could have snow next or or a hard freeze on April 15th. We shall see. So when it got too sunny out in the back border and we needed some shade and a little break, I came and worked over here. This is my bed just behind the back of my house, part of the kitchen gardens. And I had roses in here last year, but they were not getting enough sun, so I moved them. So I just did a little trimming up. I had a dead lavender. This one's a bit iffy. We've trimmed it up. So all the lavender, I kind of shaped them up. I didn't do anything to, oops, wrong way. This one, it's looking so good. We just left it be. I do need to get all the leaves out of there. This one had some dead up top, so we trimmed it really good. But mainly we got a hold of the rosemary. I have one on either side of the sidewalk. And they both had a bunch of dead up top. So I gave them a hard prune. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do to rosemary or not, but my thought being that maybe that would get them to bush out and do some new growth. If they continue to look scraggly, I'll put them out in the back border and get some new ones for here. And then yeah, just pulling weeds and tidying up. I trimmed on rose bushes the other day. I did not have to do that much. Didn't do a lot on the roses. I mean, they're fairly new, and so I didn't have a ton of growth. So I just did the bare minimum. Julia Child is really filling out. And that sage, my goodness, that sage is looking good. And then there is another lavender that's looking good. So yeah, we just worked in a variety of places today. But there is something I saw when I was out back working that I do want to share. As I was walking by, obviously this area has not gotten weeded yet, I spotted this guy, an oaky bonnet. Yes, you can grow them in Oklahoma. I've scattered seeds in here. I've had a few here and there. I just need a really good few to get going and they'll reseed. So yeah, not so many things coming on. Oak leaf hydrangea. More of that little, what is that? Salvia? Yeah, it's a salvia. It's I want to say it's profusion. That doesn't sound right. Anywho, so we've worked outside most of the day, took a break here and there. Yeah, I'm tired, and I only have that much more to go. It'll get done. It'll get done. Slow and steady. Um, I do feel at this time of the season the pressure of, oh, planting time is coming. Ooh, I think that was a hawk. Anywho, yeah, we do feel a bit of a pressure this time of year to, it's like we haven't got all the winter weeding done yet and spring is here, and soon it'll be time to plant, but we're chugging along and we just making some progress every day. Then this week is also a little shorter week for me. Other things were going on, so this video will be a little bit shorter this week. Next week though is the 1st of April, so we will have our What's Blooming in April tour. That'll be fun. And instead of a final Friday thought, I have a message to pass on from himself, whom, if I can't edit that out, you will hear banging on something down there. He's working on something in the shop building. Also, there is heavy metal music blaring. Hopefully, we can edit some of that out. Anywho, he wanted everyone to know that the pictures that I'm using of the geese and the squirrels and putting the little like and follow thing on, that those are actually our geese and our squirrels. Or perhaps we're their people. Probably we're their people, yes. So, yes, those are not AI generated. Gus and Gardy, the geese, Mr. Henry Nutney, our favorite little gray squirrel. So, yeah, all of those actually live here in Pemberley, Oklahoma. They were here before we were. And we just adore them, and they're just a delight and fun to watch. And so many birds, just so many birds to watch. So, um, we may do a little more recording tomorrow if the weather cooperates. If not, happy Flower Friday, and I will see you next week for our April What's Blooming Now tour. Oh, I thought of one last thing that I need to show you. So, I am standing here at the back border with my phone right there with this contraption that himself found for me that basically bolts a camera stand on the side of my golf cart. So I'm going to back up and drive a bit down the back border because I can't. Hang on. And I thought I'd come show you the large red bud since we were talking about it. So yeah, it's at the edge of our driveway, and I have always loved them, and I was super excited to have one. It's very bright out here right now, and it's it was prettier the other day. I think it's past its best show this season, but still a really pretty tree. Although, and I wonder if the late freeze was part of the problem. But yeah, just a pretty tree. Just a pretty tree. And out there in the distance, you can see himself on the mower. He's doing the first big mow of the season. Pretty, but a bit blowy today. And now I am back to my weeding. A little bit every day. Eventually get it all done.